Hi everyone, it's me, David. I hope you're having a great day. And here is today's philosophical point. 4 things to help your understanding of Stoicism. And I should emphasize your right here for reasons you'll see in a minute. As someone who has been a professional philosopher for a couple of decades and taught many students, done my own work in philosophy, I think that some of the discussions that are taking place online about Stoicism are quite interesting. So you will have people asking questions, what would a Stoic do in this situation? And someone describes a situation. They have someone who's giving them trouble at work. They have a breakup and so on. You have other people asking questions, would a Stoic do this? In other words, we're looking for a yes or no answer to if someone were to do this or that in a situation, would they really be a Stoic? Now, these kinds of questions introduce a lot of interesting responses, and you will see people disagreeing, and you will see even people getting a little contentious. But I think in the long run, these kinds of discussions are quite helpful. But today, my goal is not to help you to resolve disagreement. It's to help you improve your understanding of Stoicism through 4 considerations. So to give a little focus to what I'm going to say, think of our building block for the discussion will be your interpretation. So you read a sentence, you read a passage in Stoicism, and you come up with an interpretation of it. Here are the 4 things that you should think about to improve your interpretations over time. Number 1, think of why you came to Stoicism, what interests you in it, and since Stoicism is such a practical philosophy, you want to think about what was I hoping to get out of it. So it could be a number of things. It could be you're an atheist and you wanted to find some meaning in life, and Stoicism, you think, can help you with that. You want to become more calm at work and better at dealing with difficulties. That could be another reason that you are interested in Stoicism. Or it could be your life at this point seems to be a mess and you want to put things in better order, and Stoicism is, you think, is going to be helpful for that purpose. So connecting this with your interpretation of a sentence or passage in Stoicism, you want to, one of the reasons I bring this up is because I find that people are coming to Stoicism with different goals. They want different things out of it, and often their interpretation will be a reflection of their personal perspective on Stoicism. So that's important to keep in mind. It doesn't mean that your interpretation is off or you should dismiss it. Just keep in mind that, well, I like what the Stoics are saying here, and this can help me to be calmer, say. Number 2, you want to think about, for your particular interpretation, this sentence or so, you want to think about what do the texts say about this matter? What do the original Stoic texts say? What do scholars about Stoicism say about the matter or in connection with the matter? And what do philosophers say about it? In other words, and I'm putting all these 3 together because what I've learned by getting involved in Stoicism the past couple of years, much more than I had in the past, is that there's a lot of what we think about when we say the Stoics believe this. In many cases, it's due to certain important passages, or it's due to a rational reconstruction by a philosopher versed in ancient languages. So that's number two, and that is going to be of paramount weight for obvious reasons. Number three, what is the best reason for you to believe this view, to believe that it's true? Now, you could believe a given sentence in Stoicism because you think, when I believe this, when I do what Epictetus says, I begin to feel better quite quickly. And so that definitely has some weight, but we also want to find out what claims in Stoicism are actually true, and that's going to require evidence. That's going to require reasoning, and so you want to look for arguments and explanations that make the best case for this claim. And by the way, on this point, number three, what is the best case for it, or the best argument for it? I want to encourage you to come up with your own arguments. So the Stoics, over hundreds of years they were in existence, came up with their own arguments over time for the same points. And I think it would definitely help discussion if people worked on arguments for the claims that they really believe in. And lastly, and this one is going to be important, I think you should consider, for number four, what considerations are you giving more weight? Are you believing this given sentence of Stoicism because it reflects your personal perspective? Is it because of the original text and what scholars have said? Is it because here's a great argument for it and it's convincing to me? And so that, in a way, number four, will help you deal with the other factors that give people reasons to believe some claim in Stoicism. And so to review, they are, it reflects what my personal perspective on Stoicism is. It's what the text, the scholars, and philosophical reflection makes the case for. Number three, the arguments that you come up with for the claim. And lastly, you have to consider which consideration is really behind your belief, because sometimes it is the main thing that this reflects what I'm looking for in Stoicism. And so it's possible that this is a good thing for you to believe, but it may not really be backed up by what the Stoics believed. But as far as I'm concerned, that's no reason to give up believing it or having some use for it. So that's my four things to help your understanding of Stoicism. I hope you have a great day. It's up to you. Like, subscribe, check out what I do below, and I'll see you next video.